Joining us right now to discuss, distinguished professor at Touro University, Thane Rosenbaum, and trial attorney Jamie White. Thane, I don't know if you have a feel for the timing here. What do you expect, and what are your thoughts about all of this as we anticipate another indictment?
So, Bob, one of the things we've learned with all of these Donald Trump cases is that the prosecutors don't mind overcharging. Normally, prosecutors undercharge because they don't want it to blow up in their face. You don't charge for premeditated murder if you can only prove involuntary manslaughter. But so far what we've seen is the indictment is the win in the minds of these prosecutors. So it might be what we're waiting on is that the grand jury is looking at a whole series of different charges. Jack Smith would like to pile on with all of them, and maybe he's not getting the jury to sign on to all of them. Look, you know, one issue is the rioting itself, just the January 6th rioting. But you know that what Jack Smith is really interested in is this broader conspiracy to overturn the 2020 election.
Right.
And that involves all kinds of other issues involving Mike Pence and other election officials, and whether Donald Trump believed that he had lost the election and lied to the American people, whether he obstructed a federal meeting in an official meeting in progress. So it may be that the jury simply hasn't signed on to all of the charges,
right,
and he wants to load it up with as many as he can.
Yeah.
Jamie, I want to move on to this from one presidential candidate to another who also happens to be the president. Today, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says that Republicans' investigations into the business deals of President Joe Biden and his family members are rising to the level of an impeachment inquiry. Now, McCarthy speaking earlier saying he will continue the investigation against Mr. Biden and the Biden family and will update the public as the investigation unfolds. Are you sensing at all a shift in big media or liberal media starting to actually say, there might be something here, as opposed to completely ignoring it? It just seems that this situation is, I'll say, increasing, mounting, whatever the word is, I'm not finding. Are you seeing the same thing?
No. Could I briefly respond to my esteemed colleague's comments very, very briefly, and then respond to your question? I've been doing this for a long time. These prosecutions, the evidence gets put forth to arguably objective citizens, and they make the decisions about what charges are going to be appropriate going forward. The idea that Jack Smith is orchestrating this, it's just not even doable. It's just not doable. So I just, with all due respect, want to push back a little bit against my esteemed colleague. As far as the Hunter Biden issues, I think I could be wrong, but all the public reporting that I have seen has been that he's going to be held accountable for any misdoings that he's done.
But what about President Biden? We're talking about allegations now against President Biden.
So President Biden certainly is going to be under investigation for the allegations that have been put forth, but I don't think it's fair in this political environment to just throw it out there and presume that because spaghetti sticks to the wall that there's something there. Unless you can inform me, I've seen nothing to suggest that President Biden knew or should have known that Hunter Biden has made some indiscretions. And to the contrary, I think he has said that, there's been some problems in his family, and it appears that his family has stepped up in a mature fashion to accept responsibility for what they've done. That could change, folks. I'm not here in a partisan way. But I have, unless you know something I don't, I've seen nothing to suggest that President Biden knew anything about this other than right-wing social media and QAnon sorts of antics.
Well, that's trivializing the information that has come out. And while I think everyone appreciates your perspective, can certainly be one that's more favorable toward Mr. Biden, I think Katrina was making the point. in the earlier question. Even the New York Times, even some of these so-called liberal media outlets are now starting to look at this and say, maybe there is something.
Even CNN today.
Even
Yep,
CNN.
absolutely.
So we're getting it. Unfortunately, we can't talk anymore, but we hope we gave you your chance to have your position, Jamie. Jamie White, Thane Rosenbaum, thank you, gentlemen.